Hi, this is Allison Cody with MAFSI. Welcome to the Manufacturer My Credit Tracking webinar. And we want to thank you for joining us today. From what I can see, we only have manufacturers on the phone, but if we have one call-in listener, this is the webinar for manufacturers. If you are a rep, you're more than welcome to listen in on this webinar. However, we do have a My Credit Tracking webinar exclusively for reps this afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern. You can email info@mafsi.org if you would like a copy of that invite. But once again, you are more than welcome to sit in on this webinar as well. So, when you navigate to SpecPath, you're going to see a new tab, and that tab is under the My Mini Specs, and that is the My Credit Tracking module. Everything on the My Credit Tracking module is done in a maroon or a pink color, so we want to make it visually easy for you to be able to determine which module you're on. So anytime you're on a pink/maroon, you are on the My Credit Tracking module. The first screen that you'll come to when you get to My Credit Tracking is the Show File Paid module. My Credit Tracking is a little different than the other modules in that it has 3 distinct pages that do different functions. So when you first click on the My Credit Tracking sidebar, you'll be taken to the Show File Paid. On this page, it'll show you your brands, your rep firms. There's an email box where you can enter in emails for anybody you wish at the factory that should receive the credit filing notices from the rep. You'll see the number of projects that you have with that rep firm for that specific brand, if you have more than one brand. How many filed projects, unfiled projects, how many are paid, and how many are unpaid. While the majority of manufacturers in MAFSI only have one brand, we do have some manufacturers that have multiple brands. So if we scroll down here, I am logged in as a dummy manufacturer, and I've created 2 dummy brands. So you'll see here, I have my brand, dummy brand 2, listed with each rep firm. I only have one rep firm that's active because this is a dummy brand. The rest are showing up as non-members. However, MAFSI doesn't penalize you because your reps are not members of MAFSI, so you will be able to see all of your non-MAFSI members' project information throughout all of SpecPath. So if I scroll down here, you'll see here's where my reps start for my dummy brand 1. We do list the brands and the reps separately because some manufacturers do not have the same reps for all of their brands, but this does affect a small number of MAFSI manufacturers, as most manufacturers only have one brand. So let's scroll back up to the top here. So I'm going to go back over these rows, columns in detail. Any of these columns are sortable by just clicking the header. So once again, in this first column, this will be your brand name. In the second column will be the rep's name and then the rep region. In this third column, you're going to enter in the emails at the factory for the rep. Or excuse me, you're going to enter the emails in for the people at the factory who you wish to be copied on the credit filing notices for the reps. And this is a sample of we're calling them SpecPath credit requests. We're trying to get away from the terminology of just calling it a spec credit because the reps are filing for all their credits. In this case, they're just filing for destination. So whoever at the factory, whether that's you or whether it's your customer service department, when a project is approved for a rep, the reps now have an option on their side, on their credit tracking side, to file all credits automatically. So they can click a box, and then all of their credits will be filed with the factory automatically. They don't even have to go in and do it themselves. It doesn't matter whether they uploaded the project or whether another rep from a different part of the country uploaded the project. They might not have even known about the project, but it was their consultant. All their credits will be filed with their factories automatically. And this is the form that will be emailed to the factory in an email with a link, or you can print this form from the email. And also the rep that filed that credit will also be CC'd on the email. All communication between the rep and the manufacturer after the email is sent from the SpecPath system will just be between the rep and the manufacturer. So if the manufacturer replies or the rep replies to that email, the communication will only be between those two parties. SpecPath will never be involved again. This form will be sent right when the project's approved, and the form will be resent once the project is awarded. So the factory will receive this form twice. Once when the project is first created in SpecPath, and then they'll receive a copy notifying them that the project's been awarded, and they'll get the form again. On this form, you'll see that we have the project number, the name of the project, where the project's located, the project status, who the consultant is, who the rep firm is. This is a dummy rep firm that I'm using. What credit the rep is requesting and for how many items. The file date. I have not filed this. The rep has not filed this yet. Although the manufacturer can still see the form even if the rep hasn't filed it. The manufacturer can always see the form, whether or not the rep's officially filed it. The estimated bid date, awarded date, your brand name, how many items, the rep firm's name, their region, phone and email, and then all the project details. This is a visual representation of the credit that the rep is filing for, the location of the project, the market segment, consultant, and the dealer. Then down in the item list, we have the item number, the brand name, the brand type, primary, alter, equal, the description as written by the consultant, the model. All of this information is taken directly from the PDF. And then we have all of the item detail. Our hope is here that the rep will know this will, for everybody that uses SpecPath already on the phone call, this will essentially be that mini spec for your project. So if you have 5 items for your manufacturing firm on this project, all 5 of those items will be listed here with the item number, description, and all of the long spec text. So it's our hope that the reps will no longer have to send you the 200-page PDF, and also that your customer service people will no longer have to search a 200-page PDF just to find your items. And then down below, we have your brand name again. Once the PO acknowledgement and invoice are entered, I'll show you that in a minute, that will be updated. And then here, it shows you the spec rep, the destination rep, and the origination rep. And why this is important is because the reason why SpecPath was invented is the spec rep and the destination rep are the 2 reps that tend not to appear on a PO. And that's by no fault of the dealer. It's just been the evolution of our industry. By the time the manufacturer is sent a PO, a lot of the time the dealer does not have who the specifier is, or they have also changed the ship to location to a warehouse. So it's very important that these credits come to the factory in this form, because SpecPath is the only true representation of the 3 locations of the project, because we know with certainty where the project was specified from, where the project is being built, and then we know where the dealer is located as well. So if this project had more than 1 dealer and it has not been awarded yet, then it would list all of your reps that are still in position to perhaps become the origination rep on this project. So if there was a dealer bidding in Texas, such as Pasco, and then we had a dealer bidding out of Florida, it would list both your Texas and your Florida rep here. Obviously, once the project is awarded, then that's a one-to-one relationship. But it's very important to know that these are the correct reps always, that, you know, according to your split commission program, may deserve a piece of the pie, I guess, for lack of a better term. So MAFSI doesn't get involved in that. It's up to you and your reps. But just wanted to stress that who the spec rep, who the true spec rep, who the true destination rep, and the true origination rep are will always appear on this form. If your system, if you have some sort of system that we could, you know, drop your projects in every night, whether that be a Salesforce or whatnot, we could work with you on that too, as an API. The customer service people, if they want to start keeping track of this project number as well, until we can get the dealer to, you know, start working with this project number, and we're looking for the manufacturer's help with that as well. You know, it's still going to be trying to match these up, but we hope it'll be a lot easier for your customer service people to try to determine by looking at the dealer and the project location and whatnot, and the amount and which items are on this form, who the true spec rep, destination rep, and origination rep are. So whatever emails you enter into this box for that rep, that is who at the factory will receive it. This box down here that says rep mails, that is just a text box that will show you the emails that the rep has put in that he or she is sending the emails to at the factory. If you put in customer service at ABC and the rep puts in customer service at ABC, whoever that customer service person is will not receive the email twice. They'll only receive it once. But we had to have these boxes mutually exclusive because the rep or the manufacturer might put in different emails. You also might want to put in a corresponding sales manager to each of these reps. If you want the same email address for all of them, you just have to cut and paste and then click save. Always click the save button, and it's always without a space. I have talked to the developer about putting a fill in all box. So if you put in customer service at ABC and clicked it, it would fill it in for all of your reps. So he is working on that, but in the short term, all you have to do is just copy and then paste it and then click save. And it's, the average manufacturer has, you know, the most reps they can have is 26. So once you do it once, you never have to do it again. And anytime you see the words last edit and the text is highlighted, that's going to show you the history of who has updated this field. For this screen, really it's going to show you who at the factory has changed the values in this field or updated them. So you would be able to see all your different SpecPath users and the dates of how this field was edited. For this screen, it's nice to know. In some of the other screens, it's really helpful to know because it's also going to show you the rep firm that put in the PO number and or who at the factory put in the PO number. So as we always just remember to click save when you put in the email. When we click here, this is the total number of projects that you have with the rep, the total number of filed, unfiled, total number of projects paid and unpaid. All of these that are hyperlinked are going to take us into this show project screen. So right here, I'm looking at my dummy brand number 2 for my rep firm in Southeast Central. If I wanted to see all the projects for this rep, I would click here, and that's going to open up this same screen as if I were to, well, click show projects here. This is all of my projects for all of my reps. I have 4 projects total as my manufacturer. if I were to click here, obviously, it's just going to show me the 3 projects that I have with this rep firm. So any of those hyperlinks on that show file page will drill down just to that specific rep. So anytime you want to clear filters, all you have to do is click the Clear All Filters button. And now I'm back to 4 total projects, all showing. So I'm on the second screen of my credit tracking. Once again, we have the show file page screen, the show project screen, and the show rep screen. On this screen, as we go across, I can drill down just to see just specification credits, just destination credits, and just origination credits. So if I were to click the specification credits, it's just going to drill down and just show me who the spec rep is on that project. Same with destination, same with origination. If I go back to all credits, it shows me all 3 reps in this view. For this keyword search, I can enter in, many of you have hundreds and hundreds of projects. And if you want to find a project quickly by project name, dealer, even by market segment, this keyword search will search anything that you can see on this screen, except for brand, and I'll show you that in a minute, or rep firm, just because we have quick searches for those right here. But it will find the word Southeast Central, food service, Starwood Montessori, anything that you want to drill down, just like the keyword search on the My Projects page. These export to CSV and export to PDF buttons work like the other screens, where it will take the screen information and export that out for you into a CSV or export this page into a PDF. I'm going to get into the come back to these current filters in just 1 minute and show you how to use those. First, I'm going to show the quick filters. These filters are, we have these on some other pages, but a lot of them are new. This newest first, oldest first, that just arranges the projects in date order. They pretty much are already in date order, but by default, they are sorted by project number. In most cases, the date and the project number are still in sequential order. The few times that does not happen is if we have a project with 3,000 to 4,000 items and it takes us a little bit longer to get it done, and we have other projects that come in with 30 items and those are put out quicker. But usually they're only out of, if we listen by project number, they're only out of order by a couple projects. So if you definitely want to see them by date, newest, or by oldest, you can just click these quick filter buttons. The awarded state filter button is for awarded and bidding, and we soon will be adding a closed status, because now that we have my credit tracking, projects will actually be able to be closed. So this is just a quick filter. You'll see these numbers change. Like I said, most of you have hundreds of projects. So this will just is a quick filter for awarding or bidding. Time period. This is a quick filter that if you just want to see projects this week, this month, this quarter, this year. Paid status. If you only want to see projects that you have marked your reps paid on or unpaid on. Filed status shows only filed or only unfiled. I want to reiterate again that this screen I went to before, the spec credit request form. You can see that spec credit request form whether or not that the rep has filed the job or not. Our hope with this system as well is that reps will not be required to file. They're going to be penalized if they don't file their spec credits, but we're encouraging them to do that on their side. But I just wanted to reiterate that as a manufacturer, you can always see these forms whether or not the rep has filed it or not by just clicking the View Credits form. So I just wanted to reiterate that. So that, in fact, this job has not been filed, but yet you can still see the credit form for my dummy rep firm. So filed status is only going to show filed or unfiled, meaning by the reps. So if I were to click show only filed, that project I was just showing you disappeared because the rep hasn't actually filed the project. Rep firms, it's kind of hard to visualize since I have dummy branding here, but here you can just drill down to just a certain rep firm. So if you have hundreds of projects and you want just to drill down to that one rep firm. So here I have, this lists each of my brands separately for this rep firm for this project, but you'll see that my filtered projects went down to one because I'm looking at only my rep firm in this region. And then if you have multiple brands, you can also drill down just to see just a certain brand. So here I'm looking at just 3 projects for dummy brand 2 out of all my projects, which are 4. These date fields allows you to choose certain dates. So if you only wanted to see projects that were awarded between a month, the day, week, month, quarter, and year, those are all preset dates. So you'll see if I choose month, it's going to default to my current month, which is 10/1 through 10/25. If I use these arrows to go back and forth, it'll go back month by month. Whoops. Same with quarter. However, if I want a custom range where I can put in any date that I want, I can do that here, and then I can click apply. And then anytime you want to clear all filters, you can just click here, and also the clear button as well, but next to the keyword search has the same functionality. It'll clear all the filters on the page. So the change filters is available on all of the pages, but I wanted to go through it because I'm not quite sure if everybody's familiar with it. With this project filters, you can set a multitude of really specific filters, which will then apply to your results. You can also save those, and on other screens, they also can apply to your exports as well. And also on the screen, they can apply to your exports. So if you wanted to just run your schools K through 12 with brand type of primary, since I have more than one brand name for this dummy manufacturer, I'm just going to choose one of my brands. I could add project role, which would be specification, destination, or origination. I could add a certain rep firm's name. So you can add a consultant's name, you can add a dealer's name, and you can mix and match any of these filters. If I decided that this was a search that I wanted to run frequently, and I wanted to run it on other pages as well, and save it and run it, I could just click Save Filters, and I'm going to name this Region 12 Prime Schools. Now I click Apply Filters, and you'll see that these projects have dropped once I refresh this page. Now that filter is always in my filter presets. So it doesn't matter if I go to my projects or any of the other screens. If I always want to look for, you know, just my primary jobs that have been awarded, I could build that filter as well. And then any screen I go to, I can just click this filter and it will be on every screen. So if I go to my projects and go to the same filter presets, it's there as well. So It can be really helpful if you want to run just your destination jobs that have been awarded in a certain time period. So you could do that same sort of date fields right here. So if you want to run just your jobs that have been awarded for January 1st through today, and then save that filter to run over and over again, all you do is click Save Filters, name it, and then you'll always have it in your filter presets. If you name a filter and you want to get rid of it, just click this X and it will delete that saved filter. So you can combine these filters along with these filters. If you save a filter and you add bidding or awarded to that filter down below, it's not going to say, it's going to save just the filters that you have up here. So if you always want to run awarded jobs and save that filter, then you're going to have to choose awarded up here and add it to your saved filter. But if you want a broad filter and then you want to narrow it, you can mix and match these. Just know that only the filters up here are going to, once you save them, are the only ones that are going to apply in filter presets. But you can add any of these quick filters at any time, and these two portions work together. So as we scroll down to the project details, in this table we have the name of the brand, the project number, when it was uploaded, the name of the project, the credit filed. So this shows us the credit filed. This is the date of the credit filed by the first rep. So the date that the first credit was filed on this project. So if we scroll down to this project and mouse over it, okay. So this shows us which of our rep firms, or when the rep firm filed for the credit, who at the rep firm, and then if the manufacturer's done anything. I've sort of messed around with this project and gone back and forth, so, and I've paid and unpaid it. But anytime you see a last edit and you scroll over that date, it's going to show you just for your reps or anyone at the factory. It's not going to show you anybody else in the system. The history of what has gone on. So if I were to enter a PO or anything as a rep, you would be able to see that which rep firm entered that PO, or if you entered a PO, the rep firm would be able to see that as well. It just will show you a history anytime you mouse over this last edit. I apologize, it does not show you under credit filed, even though that looks hyperlinked. So this field right, or this column right here is project status. It just shows you the bidding date. Not all projects have a bidding date because the reps are not required to enter it in for every project. The project details shows us where the project's being built, the market segment, who the consultant is, who the dealer is. So at the factory, if you receive a PO and you navigate to SpecPath and you realize that the project has not, that the project's been awarded, obviously, because you have a PO, but the dealer that you received that PO from is not listed on the project. Any manufacturer, any rep can add a dealer from anywhere in North America and then award that dealer. So we can go ahead and move these projects along. So your customer service people may add that dealer and then award, and then they would click here and click award. I'm not going to do that right now because I'm going to show you guys one more thing before I do. So obviously nothing can be entered into PO acknowledgement invoice until something happens and you do receive a PO. So if you do try to enter a PO without a job being awarded, you're going to get an error message that is not going to allow you to enter in a PO acknowledgement or invoice without awarding the job. So every job must be awarded before the PO acknowledgement invoice, obviously. But we did want to point that out just to make everybody aware. So we'll go ahead and award this job to Atlanta Fixture. Okay, so now that the job has been awarded, the customer service people at the factory, or if the rep awards the job and they want to put in the PO number, now these fields are active. And then we click here and we'll be able to see, and the rep will be able to see this as well, that the manufacturer put this value in at 1, 2, 3, 4. If a rep is a rep that reconciles POs and they put it in, they'll be able to see it. Additionally, these 3 reps will be able to see that PO number as well. As part of the problem is that only the origination rep is the only one that knows the PO, which is why the spec rep and the destination rep are usually left in the dark. So for this project, if you're the spec rep, destination rep, origination rep, or the manufacturer, you will be able to see all this information. Down in payment status, we have 2 different visual representations of payment status, global and my. For global status, this is a visual representation. These boxes will turn gray. When anybody in the system on this Starwood Montessori School project, any of the 200 manufacturers and their corresponding 3 reps for these 3 locations, if anybody in SpecPath enters in a PO, acknowledgement, invoice, or marks the project as paid, these boxes will turn gray. And then they'll also have a date attached when you hover over them. What that is telling you is that POs have started to drop in this project. Somebody's gotten a PO. So if you have items on this project that are prime and you do not receive a PO, you want to contact the dealer, contact your rep to follow up with the dealer to determine why your company has not received a PO. So under global payment settings, you'll never know who's received a PO, but you know somebody has. So these are just boxes that are showing you what others in the system are saying about this job or reporting about this job. My payment status, that means you or one of your 3 reps on the project has put something in. So these, if we take this project through, these 3 boxes up here may be all gray. If only you or your 3 reps have only entered a PO, then these only get filled in when you or your 3 reps enter. These get filled in when anybody on the project enters. We go over here, this is just for you to view their credit form. And then you can also mark paid or not applicable. Sometimes you don't pay certain credits for certain positions. Each manufacturer is different. And once these 3 buttons are clicked, then the project goes into an official closed status, which is what we want. We want to start getting these projects awarded and closed, and so we can start to figure out some, for the factory, some win-loss rates. So if we click paid here, we're going to set that to paid. If you accidentally click paid and you didn't mean to click paid, all you have to do is click it again and it will set it back. And then anytime you mouse over here, you can see that history on there. So a rep also has the ability on their side to mark it paid, so you'll see that as well. So as we scroll down here, this little trophy is a visual representation of showing you that this project has been awarded. So these will just list all of your projects for your brands on the show projects page, and also where your customer service people could enter in the PO acknowledgement and invoice. We are doing some work with Orgo, and also if reps put their information in Orgo, we're also working with AutoQuote. So this information, including the project number, is going to come out of SpecPath, and the reps are going to be able to quote this project using the mini spec into AutoQuotes. This project number is going to follow it along. It's also going to have the spec rep, destination rep, and origination rep on the quote. That information then gets dumped for a majority of our reps that use Orgo every night from auto quotes into Orgo. Then this project number will be in Orgo, and then we could also dump the reps information out of Orgo into SpecPath if they enter their POs, acknowledgments, and invoices into Orgo. They don't have to enter them in a second time. The key is this project number, and once again, this job number is what we're going to be calling it. It'll be a field in auto quotes, so it'll be for any SpecPath job. It'll also be a field for street business as well. So we are looking for manufacturer support on hopefully trying to get the dealer to somehow put this, whether it's a SpecPath project number or whether it's a street business job, it'll be a field that will be in auto quotes. That if we can just get that to get on the PO, I think we'll be a lot further along. So, but it will be a field in auto quotes that the dealers will be able to see as well. So we hope that you can help us encourage it, because we've tried project name, we've tried specifier identification system, and you know, it's with the rate at which data is being shared in every other industry, and also, you know, starting in our industry, even auto quotes and their order status. This will tie all of that together. So, you know, we're within a couple of years. I don't see how we aren't going to be required to share all this. That's why we started SpecPath. We believe in transparency across the channel, and obviously, I'm letting you guys know which consultants are speccing you, and also which dealers are bidding on your jobs, as well as for the reps, the same thing, but also, you know, getting the right rep paid, because the problem is when the dealer is awarded in the PO system that currently exists right now. So we've gone over show file paid, we've gone over show projects, now we'll go over show reps. I'm not going to go over these filters again. This is the same filters that are on the other page. If you look at this table, this list in summary view all of your reps, how many credits, specification credits, destination credits, and origination credits. So if I were to click on these boxes, it just makes the table less busy, I guess, if you want to just see how many credits you have for those certain locations. Export to CSV and export to PDF. Take the contents of this page and export them to either of those formats. The change filters work the same way. So if you wanted to just add schools here, or if we wanted to do our filter preset, you'll see that then this table drops down just to this rep firm, but it's also just counting primary. And if I were to click that one, then this is the one I built, primary schools, dummy brand with this rep firm. So these filters and these filter presets apply to these tables. Now I'll click clear all filters. Awarded state time period. All of these work the same as the previous page and will affect the numbers in this table. So if I were to click this, it's going to make that table do the same thing. So these tables work similar to the My Rep Firms table, but now instead of projects, we're looking at credits. So I were to click on this. Now I've drilled down to just this rep firm, and now I'm looking at brand 1 and brand 2. This shows me the rep firm, how many spec credits, destination credits, origination credits, total credits. If I were to click on the brand, then I get the project detail view. Here's just this one brand, which projects for that brand, uploaded, awarded, filed, paid, how many spec credits per project, destination, origination, and total. Then we have a total counts column. So this 3 is basically just counting how many projects. Same here. Out of these 3, how many have been filed, paid, so on, so on, and so on. And then if I were to click here, then it brings me back to around to this project view where I'm just looking at this project. However, I have 2 brands on this project. Also, if we go to my projects and we are looking at the project details, this is also in my mini specs as well. You now have a credit tracking table, which is going to give you a summary on this page as well as your mini spec page about this job related to credit tracking. So how many items, how many filed, PO, acknowledgement, invoice paid. So when an occurrence happens, this check mark will turn blue. And you can also get straight from this project, from this screen by clicking this credit tracking button. And also the developer is going to have the buttons here where you can go straight to my mini spec or to project detail. And the last thing you're going to want to do is go to my account. And I'm going to go over all these really quickly if you do not have these set. But we have 2 new credit tracking emails that you can receive. Project credit tracking info changed. That is just going to be an email that's going to send to you if somebody enters a PO, someone enters an acknowledgement, or if anybody else on the project receives a PO. So it'll say global event PO received on this date, or PO entered, I guess. You won't, for all global events, you won't know who that is. You only know who it is for your projects, but it will still send you an email if somebody else on the project gets a PO. It'll tell you what that event is. And then project credit tracking filed, that's going to send, if you don't, that'll send you an email when any of your reps file a spec credit. You could also put your email into the show filed paid, but if you just wanted to be copied on that. And then just to cover these are the 3 most important I have here is new project added that notifies you by email, a one-off email that you have a new project in SpecPath, new project consultant added that notifies you. We have about 250 projects that have unknown consultants, meaning that we cannot determine who the specifier is. We've had an additional 300 since SpecPath has started, so about 550 total. We've determined the consultant on 300 of those that came through by the reps as unknown consultant. Either sometimes the reps don't know who it is because it's a consultant outside their region, or they don't know the specifier identification. A lot of the time, 80% of the time, the consultant's not even listed. So we are members of all the public plan rooms, and we go in and find the drawings and look at all the drawings to see if we can determine a consultant. For the 250 jobs that we have out of the 4,000 and some that are left, there's no way to determine the specifier because they're not listed on the spec or the drawing or anywhere. But we still think that's a great, very small ratio compared to what was happening before SpecPath. So we only have about 250 jobs out of 4,000 and some that do not have a specifier on them. Project dealer added, that means a project's been uploaded, another rep is asked to bid it by their dealer. We don't have any duplicates in SpecPath, so we simply, once we receive the duplicate project, the rep has to give us the PDF, and then we add the dealer, so that just notifies you that another dealer has started to bid on the job, which most likely means that maybe your reps are bidding against each other. Project awarded, that's a really important one as well. That just sends you a one-off email when the project's been awarded. Estimated bid date, project credit tracking is important, and then project credit tracking filed. All of these up here are individual emails you get every single time this event occurs. You can also choose just to get a daily, weekly, or monthly, and these emails automatically include all of these summarized in tables. You don't have to click these up here. If you don't click anything, if I were to unclick all of these and just receive a daily overview, I automatically receive a daily overview of all of these events. You don't have to click up these boxes. It'll automatically give you a summary of all of these events if you just click daily, weekly, or monthly. So you can mix and match if you want one-off emails when you have a new project, or new projects awarded, but then you also want a daily overview of all of these events, and then just click Save Notification Preferences. So I hope you found the webinar helpful. I can open it up to questions. If anybody has any questions, you should be able to type them into the Q&A section of the webinar. So I can hold on for a couple of minutes to see if anybody has any questions. I do not have any right now, but if you have any questions. Also, you can reach out to me at acody@mafsi.org. MAFSI. We also have a credit tracking manual for manufacturers. The My Credit Tracking Manual. Click on this. And you can share this with service people. And this will take you through all of what I went over today with detailed instructions. And my first question is, has this been recorded to view again later? Yes, it has. So we will be able to share that link. I did have a couple of AV issues, so I'm actually on a phone and on a computer, but they've assured me that it's still recording, so I will double check that. But if not, I can record it once we get the AV issues done and record it on my computer, and then I can send it out. But yes, we are 99% sure. We just ran into some AV issues, but either way, we'll get you a recorded version. So great. Well, once again, we hope that you found it useful. We thank you for your loyalty and your support of SpecPath. We're going to have my reports here done very shortly, and then, like I said, we're doing some pretty exciting stuff with auto quotes and in turn Orgo, which we'll have available to show everybody at the conference. But some super exciting stuff. And always feel free to reach out to us and let us know any suggestions that you have. And once again, I know that this module took a little bit longer, but we promise my report is coming very shortly after this. So, all right. Well, I think we will not have any more questions. So I want to thank everybody today for being on the call, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks. Bye-bye.